Not much of a landlubber, but sometimes I get no choice in the matter. Besides, there's business to take care of.
Here we are, Reaper's Coast. We made it. The hunt, like always. To be godwoken is all well and good, but above all, I've yet to find the Master. Somewhere further inland, Roost Anlon breathes. All I have to do now is pick up his scent and make his last breath worth my while.
A dying shark lies gasping on the sand, bleeding from the mouth and gills. It turns its dark and soulless eyes to you. Its bloody gills open in search of water, but find only air. A dying shark lies gasping on the sand, bleeding from the mouth and gills. It turns its dark and soulless eyes to you. Its bloody gills open in search of water, but find only air. It gasps in the air, struggling for the breath to speak. Its own blood froths at its mouth.
No! Die here! Monsters in the water! Monsters in the deep! Monsters bigger, more and more growing.
It looks at you with its cold, flat eyes as if to say, do what you will. Then it turns away and gets back to drowning in the bloody sunshine. It looks at you with its cold, flat eyes as if to say, what are you waiting for? Then it turns away and gets back to...
What happened here?
That Void Woken had something in his claws.
the dark with you.
It's still there.
Not much of a landlubber, but sometimes I get no choice in...
A Magister caravan. I remember one just like this picking me up. Could have been a shipment to Fort Joy. But what happened here?
Not happening. No, it's not true. Can't be true. No, no, no. Can't be real. Not real.
Good
Not
find.
happening. No, it's not true. Can't be true.
White as driftwood salt, the dwarf flinches at your approach, yet she holds a short, clean blade aloft. Her fierce stance can't hide the trembling of her fingers.
Back! Get back! I'll kill you, just like the rest of them.
Shh, lass. I know you're all a fright. In times like these, I don't blame you. But I ain't out to hurt you. Now, why don't you take a few breaths and tell me what happened?
She slumps, all bravado draining from her.
No. I've never seen anything like those beasts before. Are they gone?
Voidwoken, you mean? Poor thing. No wonder you were scared. I'd be scared too.
Those? Yes. Worst ones I've ever seen. Ripped through the Magisters. The dwarves. Dead. 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 And the sorcerers. Sorcerers. Gone.
Her eyes stare vacantly into the distance, glassy as marbles. It's not cold, yet her shivering is relentless.
I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Duna's beard. Lohar. My boss, Lohar, will want to know what happened to them, but I can't remember.
Lohar, eh? Where will I find this boss of yours?
Oh, well, you'll find him in Effie's Emporium, neath the Black Bull. He's a fine man. A little gruff, yeah, but he's the only one in Driftwood wanting to help and not hurt.
She looks up at Beast through tear-stained eyes, but you can see her resolve hardening as she remembers who she is and what she stands for.
Oh, Seven sympathy. I saw those things dragging the sorcerers along the cliffs towards the Wreckers' Caves. Oh, no more. It's gone.
She flinches at the slightest rustle of wind through the long grass. Terror in her eyes, she stumbles away from you. The kid is whistling an off-key tune as he strolls about shiftily. He raises an eyebrow at your approach, but says nothing.
Ain't up to how. Just looking for someone. Seen Ben Mesd. Ooh, Baron won't like that. Won't like that one little bit.
The kid shoves his hands in his pockets and ambles off, resuming his tuneless whistling.
Get yourself in check, boy. I won't have you running off like Millicent and Tully. You'll just end up sliding down some Voidwoken's gross gullet, piece by piece.
The older-looking Magister notices your presence. He wipes his grubby hands downward across his greaves, as if to wipe away the grime, but instead smears more dirt onto them.
Halt, Scaleskin. What word do you bring?
His face goes pale, and his eyes open wide. The Magister that greeted you remains stiff, as if enduring a harsh wind.
The Voidwoken come.
Hush, Fedder. You may pass, Lizard. Dare say he'll be aching to leave before long anyway. But before you do, find Raymond, the White Magister. He'll want to know what you've seen. Be quick, mind. He's set to sail any moment.
He nods his head in the direction of the bridge, but offers no other instructions.
As long as you stay put, you'll be safe.
This town doesn't look much equipped to entertain a nobleman like myself. Pity.
Don't let up now. Keep hauling that.
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Surrounded by incompetence, I deserve a better posting.
The Magister startles, realizing there's a stranger in his midst.
What do you want, Lizard? You can't just come in here as you please. There's Magisters missing. I'm trying to conduct a bloody investigation. This isn't the ancient Empire, Serpent. Now answer my bloody question. What are you doing here? Well, mind your bloody step in future. I've an investigation to carry out, and I don't need any more distractions. Yes, a vile little tinkerer goes by the name of Higba. 3 of my Magisters have gone missing of late from right here in Driftwood. All signs are that Higba is responsible. Catching, killing, I don't care. There'll be gold for whoever puts an end to this rat. If you see anything, tell me or my men at once. Otherwise, keep the hell out of our way. Well, do you know anything? Stop wasting my time, then. Help! My inkwell is dry. Quick, keep the lights on.
And your latest, my friend? The war, the bishop, the queen? What tickles your fancy? Figured you'd ask me about that. Ain't looking too good for you, lizards. Word is, the Divine Order's gonna hit your empire and hit it hard. You remember what happened to the elves, don't you? Ain't no one left standing when you treat them to death, Frog. You're lucky to be so far from home, and no mistake. Seven save us. Stabbed in the back he was by them vile, low-born, treacherous seekers. Kill them all, I say. Do 'em like Magister Raymond did old Lady Siva. That'll teach them traitors. I mean, they doomed us all, didn't they? The son of the Divine is dead. Gone. Who'll save us now? Jolly Justinia, Queen of the Dwarves. Ha! Scourge, more like. Here's 20 or so noble gentlemen. No one knows what they did wrong, if anything, and she has them stripped and whipped all the way to the execution grounds. Didn't even give them the dignity of the sword, no sir. Had them all hung. Real slow like. You ask me, and I say she's mad as a mink with its tail on fire. Queen or no queen. Killed by sorcerers, a most vile incident. A valiant warrior against the void.
Keep your eyes peeled. Ramos the Wanderer promised he'd be here.
A prim woman in a starched apron wipes a glass with a clean rag. She pins you with blue, steel-sharp eyes as you approach the bar.
Blessings upon our Lucian, 7 times divine.
The soft lines of her face fold into a warm smile. She sets the glass on the counter and pours you a generous portion of an amber liquor.
I see your mother raised you very well indeed. Rare for a lizard, but all the more impressive. You and my Niles might even get along. What brings you to Driftwood, darling? They've been a trial, that's for certain. But the Magisters are here. They'll protect us. You can rest your hat on that, sure as the sun to rise. My boy Niles will make sure of that. Anyhow, what can I get you? Yes, that's my boy. Did you know him? Finest physician in all of Reaper's Coast. Top of his class. My, but it's been too long since I've seen him. A fine physician indeed. That's my boy. Some say all a growing child needs is food and sunshine. I say abstinence and chastity will grow him finer than either one of those. Oh, but it's so good to meet a friend of Niles. Here, have a little something to eat. Niles' favourite, you know. No one in our little town can appreciate work so fine as his, you know. All his instruments and books are stored away upstairs, all but forgotten. It's such a terrible waste. You can hang your hat on that. I'd love to show you, but I'm afraid I can't leave the bar unattended. This crowd isn't to be trusted, believe you me. But I suppose, well, there's no harm, is there? You seem to be a good sort. One of Lucian's own, isn't that right? Here, take this key and head on up the stairs. You'll find Niles' room there. He'd want to know his fine things weren't languishing unappreciated in his old room.
You're good with the Magisters caging anyone up that looks at them fun.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard?
What on earth is that noise?
Then you're an idiot.
That would be my stomach. Absolutely not.
Got a pick.
The coffers are to be guarded day and night.
And I'm fine. You can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful, you know? If I can get Alexander, maybe.
You've got a pick who you can trust.
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
And I'm saying, you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful, you know. If I can get Alexander, okay,
It's as lush as it's right about that. Right as rain. You rise on my treasures, not my person. Why do you shiver, sir? This room is tempting.
you've got a pick who you can trust.
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
And I'm saying, you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful, you know. If I can get Alexander, any of us.
Right about that. Right as rain, Hilka.
You've got a pick who you can trust.
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
And I'm saying, you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful, you know. If I can get Alexander, any of us.
Right about that. Right as rain, Hilka.
Nice.
And you can't be too careful. If I can get Alexander, any of us.
Right about that. Right as rain,
sort of people you can trust.
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
And I'm saying you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful, you know? If they can get Alexander, they can get any of us.
The bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn.
Right about that.
Give up,
Who would
sorcerer.
do this?
What? You're no better than a lizard.
Don't send me away. I'm not a dirty lizard.
Get her, Dallas. Get that sorcerer.
Useless. Bloody useless. Might as well have dropped it.
You too, Julian. Show 'em how it's done, man. Go on, you mute sacks of flesh. Put your backs into it. I'll not lose another day to the tide. The Lord Dread awaits. Its sails billow with Dallas's breath. I'll...
The Magister stops, barking orders. He sniffs the air like a predator, turns to face you, the wolf eyeing the deer.
You do not get to make that decision. That decision is mine. A good day? Let's talk about a good day. Tell me, have you ever been strung up by the hands? Your body swinging like a bell's clapper as your bones are being broken with cast iron rods? We do cruel things unto others and unto ourselves because we must.
He licks his lips. Dry flesh turns wet.
See, I'd like to string you up too. Rack you with rods and leave you dangling over a puddle of your own blood and piss. My favorite one. I'm very good at what I do, see? I don't even need a sauce hound yapping at my side. There was a whiff of something in the air when you approached. A current of filth, that is to say, sauce. Best convince me I was mistaken.
He leans in closer and sniffs the air once more.
Interesting. So I was mistaken. Must have been ambition I smelt on you, not the magic that dare not speak its name. Very well. In that case, we'll forego the gallows and turn straight to the hunt. The very definition of your order's existence. Seems peaceful here, doesn't it? A quiet day in a quiet town. One wouldn't think these drifting woods toss on dwarf-troubled waters. But they do. Consider for a moment the dwarf. What is he? A mule? A beast of burden? But some defy that role. There are rats among them, dancing to their rat queen's tune. I've need of a rat catcher. Of course, I must depart post-haste, but Julian here will stay behind and be a good little parrot. Ask and he will answer.
Stay behind? But I've my orders. Same as you. Dallas.
Like I said, Julian is staying. And with that, I must be off. No hard feelings about the death threats, of course. How about we part shaking hands instead of stringing them up? How very heartwarming. One last thing. The Magisters here are diligent men and women. A stranger like you may run into troubles with them. Should this happen, just wave this piece of parchment in their eager little faces. My signature will placate them without fail, I assure you. Adieu and good luck. The Lord Dread awaits. The use of the gallows, I pass on to you. The time has come, my stitched-lit lovelies. We set sail. Get on board and man your stations.
Left behind like a dog. Ah, 7 curses upon that shit.
The Magister is rubbing the dirt off his robes, none the worse for wear, apparently, from the blast of magic that knocked him off his feet.
You! The supposed source hunter! I'd be whining and dining aboard the Lord Dread if it weren't for you. Your meddling in Magister affairs had better be worth it. A man of stature wouldn't be moored on a dock with no one but dead fish for company. But here I am and here you are. So, to business. Now answer me. Did you meet with a Magister caravan on your way into town? The hour's growing late and I'm beginning to worry something might have gone wrong. By the Bishop's bones, you saw it? Now, out with it, man. What happened? Voidwoken. That means source was used. Which means some third party must have attacked first. And I've a fair idea who that might have been. Raymond, that old goat. Always suspecting there's more to the Driftwood dwarves than meets the eye. Hate to admit it, but I think he may be right. Too many things have gone wrong along Reaper's Coast to attribute to bad luck. Magister ships sinking, weapons disappearing, and as you've seen, a caravan attacked and destroyed. Rumour has it the Dwarvian Queen herself is behind these acts of sabotage. That is what I want you to prove. There's a local thug, Lohar. He runs an operation out of his hideout beneath the Black Bull Tavern. I suspect this man of being a spy for his queen.
It may be interesting to have a word with him. Find out what he's up to. Where I really want you to ferret around is Reaper's Bluffs, to the west of Driftwood.
It's wild territory, remote and hostile, where I believe the dwarves may have set up a base of operations away from prying eyes. Should you find any such place, and better yet, proof that Lohar is working on behalf of Queen Justinia, you will be handsomely rewarded, I assure you. They've always been snakes in the grass. Cheap labour, sure, and hard workers too. Half of them are their queen's spies. Her eyes, her ears, her poison-pouring hands. You know what Queen Justinia is like, surely. A tyrant and a master strategist to boot. In that case, go forth and let the hunt commence!
My word, but you do look exhausted. I bet you could use a touch of magic. Have at it. Got yourself
You're
situated.
safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Have you anything that will protect against voidwaking?
I can turn aside fire, cold and poison. But voidwalking? God knows what'd stop those beasts.
Cold steel it is, then.
Yep.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Anything that will protect against food poisoning.
I can form a sight fire, cold and poison. But void walking, God knows what'd stop those beasts.
Cold street.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
You can't go there, mister. The Meister isn't home and the Magister's locked her house up for her. They was very angry about it. They said mean things about the Meister and they left a mess, a big one. She's my friend. She was one of the Magisters once. She was very high up. She used to look for god people and help them. But then she stopped that and just stayed in the house all the time. She used to play with me, but then the Magisters took her away, they did. They took her outside the village. I'm not allowed outside the village.
She looks around theatrically to see if there's anyone listening.
When the wind blows from over the stream, I can hear the Meister. I can hear her crying.
She gives you a look of the darkest meaning. Then she takes a deep breath, puts on a happy smile, turns and skips away.
War's a brewing, my friend, and we may find ourselves on different sides, in which case prices will go up. Buy now while you still can. Special prices for you while we're still friends. War is hell, my friend, but it's very good for business. Good luck to you.
Anything that will protect against food poisoning.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Hear ye! Hear ye! Divinity Divine order to march against the ancient empire!
Together, Reed. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Bishop Alexander was slain by Seegers!
Your fish stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
The kind that don't fancy starving, along with the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Keep talking, Wolf, and you'll end up eating sawdust from a cell floor.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Reed. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Divine order to march against the ancient empire!
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit,
Insubordination!
What kind of rat would sell such?
The kind that don't fancy starving, along with the rest of this
Hear ye! Hear ye! Divine order to march against the ancient empire!
Keep talking, Wolf, and you'll end up eating sawdust from a cell floor.
keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Bishop Alexander was slain by Seegers! Culprits still at large!
You, Dallas. You're going on the boat, sorcerer. You can stay there with the dirty lizards and Joe's brothers.
Watch it. Those are source hounds.
Pick up a signature.
some anyway.